Hi everyone. Remember when I told you a few weeks ago when I was bringing my daughter and my granddaughter to the game? I was going to see the Crystal Palace game last season, and when we got beat, 1-0. Anyway, I said to my little granddaughter, I said, "Would you like to come to match your game with me?" She said, "Oh yeah, granddad, I'm made up." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm going to take you and your mother." "Okay." That's my daughter, Francie. So I told Francie and I said, get the tickets and we'll sort everything out for the day. So she said, "Okay, Dad." And she got back to me and she said, "Dad, do you know how much it is?" I said, "What is it?" She said, £1,020. I said, "Fucking hell." I said, "Okay." She said, "No, Dad, it's £1,020 each." So that would have cost me 3,060 quid. Get onto that. £3,060. Anyway, my mate Steve Evans, he sent me through a thing. He said, "Get onto this." I can't believe it. £1,920. £1,920 for the Real Madrid game. Corporate. £1,920. What's going on? Please, I don't understand this. I just don't understand these astronomical prices, these corporate things. I think it's a disgrace, I really do. I've got a guest on as well tonight. I'll bring him on in a moment, just go through some of these. I've got a lad named Sean, and big head, obvious. So I'll be bringing him on very soon. Just go through a few of these comments, if I might. The corporate hospitality pic I sent as genuine, Frank, on the LFC website. It's outrageous, says Steve Evans. And Steve's a genuine lad, by the way. He's my mate. And Sean Dock says, check those costs. Mental. And Martin Mason, "I'm here." Oh, hello, Martin. Nice to see you. Yusuf, take out a mortgage to pay for the corporate hospitality tickets. Yeah, you got to. You never known anything like that in your life. Sean saying, "Hello, Martin." Wonder if that's in an Irish accent. "Hello, Martin. How are you? Will that be yourself I'm talking to?" I met an Irish lad, cracking lad. He always wanted to meet me. Anyway, I met him and his mates. And I goes over, I was in Liverpool 1 at the time. And goes over, sees these fellas talking. I said, "I wonder if that's him." So I walks over and he said, "No." He said, "No." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry there." I said, "I mistook you for somebody." He said, "Okay, lad." And he goes over honestly, I goes over to this fella and he looks at me, I forget his name, and he comes over to me and he goes, "Will that be yourself I'm talking to, Frank?" I said, I said, I said, "Yeah, to me. Will that be yourself I'm talking to?" Fantastic. These are our Irish, these are our Irish lads. These are our Irish lads, our Irish fans. Great bunch of fellas. I'll do a lecture about the Irish. If you're ever, if you're Irish, look on a podcast by the name. You'll get me if you Google me, and it's Parlay with Padraig Cronin. And I'm talking about the Irish coming over here to Liverpool, because he used to lecture about them, you say, coming over. Did. Evening, Frank, by the way. Evening, Steve. KP. Hello, Sir Frank of Liverpool. I refused the gong, you know, because of the establishment. Refused it. He's saying, oh, you've got to take it. I said, I'm not taking nothing. Taking nothing. Hillsborough, are you kidding me? Frankie, says Edward. And that's the Sean say be talking about that. Crazy, it's criminal, absolutely. Absolutely. Working class have been priced out of games. That's why atmosphere in the big grounds have gone down badly. That's a great point, that, because I've always said the European games, you know, we get the chance to get a ticket. And the atmosphere is so different from the corporate. And I keep saying, when I brought my granddaughter, she's 12, to the game, we were in the main stand, and she said to me, Granddad, why are you shouting? What are you shouting? I said, well, you shout at the referee and you shout at them other players, you know, who's playing against us. And she said, but you're the only one who's shouting, because no one's in the main stand and they're all sitting there like this, you know. Oh, bloody. And the prize of Merseyside, Callum. Hello, Callum. Hiya, mate. Good to see you. Gary Rigby, trucking tack, Frank. Great game the other week. Yeah. From Norway. Yes. Still in Norway. £10 a pint. Oh, brilliant. And Martin's a good mate, says Sean. Sean, I'll be bringing you on, honestly. Neil Broderick. Ciao, amico mio. Ciao, amico mio. I've got something for him. Haven't I? I've got something for him. In fact, I'll go and get it now. I'll show you there, Neil, what I've got for you. Excuse me, Sean. Neil, look. There's your lost Shankly boy, right? There's your lost Shankly boy, and blimey, I can never find these things, you know. And it's signed, look. It's signed. Okay, so I'll see you on Saturday. Be good to see you again, anyway. And he brought me down this, and there's a mounted version of me, and he's bringing it down next week. Sure, this is George Scott. Look at that. Frank with all the greats. Hang on. I can't do this, you know, because it's funny paper. I'm useless. Oh, there, look. God, blimey, can't get it. I can't get it. Yeah, there I am. Wow, freaking hell. I just can't. Oh, for fuck's sake. Can't get it right. Useless I am, boys. Well, it's. Oh, yeah. No. Can't show you it. It's on that funny paper. But it's brilliant. And with all the, you know, cartoon of me, you know, caricature, not a cartoon, caricature. And Our great managers from Fagan, Dalglish, Paisley, Shankly, and the man himself, Klopp. There you go, look at that. See, you might have just got it then. There you go, see? With those lads, look at that. Isn't that fab? Isn't that fab? Go off fully again now. Anyway, I'm going to big off Frank. Says, lead the whiz, kid. Lead the whiz, kid. Hey, Lee. And sorry, I was a bit drunk last time. I hope I wasn't. Of course you were. You're always out of order, Gary, when you're sober. Anyway, gonna bring this lad in. Who's this? Hi, Frank, mate. What's your opinion of Arne Slot? 3 games in. I think he's awful. That's it. I'll be lynched. I'll be lynched. I'm bringing Sean in.
Hi, Frank.
You're okay?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. I'm sorry to keep you waiting there. I like to,
Right.
get onto the lads who are, sending in comments and things like that. So, Sean, what do you think of that nearly, 2 grand for the game against Real? What's that all about?
It's crazy. Like, even going onto that website and just looking at them, and I'm just thinking, what in the Lord God do I have that premium membership for? I don't get it. Like, I went over to watch the Atalanta game.
Yeah.
It was a company that are basically advertised by Liverpool Football Club. And we thought we had paid for coach and ferry over and what have you. And we found out that we didn't. And we had to pay an extra €1,000 each. So it would have cost us about 1,300 each for a day trip. I mean, that could have paid for a flight to New Zealand nearly. It's crazy. And
but another day, never mind a trip to New Zealand. I would have paid for a week somewhere in Spain.
Yeah.
I think it's shocking, the way it is. As I said, Sean, I said to my little granddaughter, I was made up because I brought her the game, you see. And I said, would you like to go to another game with me? She said, oh, yeah, granddad, yeah. I said, I'm bringing your mum as well. So she said, okay. And it would have cost me £3,060.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I just think, look at this. John Z. Boy, 1990. Hi, Frank, mate. What's your opinion on Arne Slot 3 games in? What's your opinion of him, Sean?
Well, I didn't think I'd warm to him, but he kind of reminds me of a Dutch Rafa Benitez. He kind of has that kind of, character about him. I like him. So far, so good. I mean, I'm not going to, after 3 games in a pre-season, I'm not going to kind of,
No, we're not going to run around to laps of honour, are we?
No.
Put it that way, yeah. Simply because he's only 3 games in. I don't bother with the pre-season. I'm being honest. It's great when we win. Beat the likes of Arsenal, Man United, and whatever. Point is, this is the Premiership, and it's the hardest league in the world. World Club Football. It's the hardest league. But 3 games in, okay. And as they said, though, we all agreed. The test was against Man United. But what I liked about him, it wasn't the Man United game. It was the Ipswich game. Because in the first 45 minutes, Sean, as you know, we were absolutely woeful. And I was saying to myself, is this it? And I was speaking to Steve Evans, my mate at half time, and I was saying, Steve, and he went, and we said a few expletives. The thing is, you see, sure, he tweaked it.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to tweak. And when he tweaked it, it was an entirely different side. We could have scored 7 in that second half.
Yeah,
7.
and he didn't wait, for an hour to make the changes.
No.
He was quick to jump on and make the changes, and that's brave of him.
Absolutely, because as I said, that's what I liked about him.
Yeah.
So going into the Brentford game, I sat back and I thought, well, let's see if we can carry on from the Ipswich second half, and we did. We were great. We were good. We were very good, and especially against Man U. And we haven't conceded. And there's the tweaks again. It's in defence.
Yeah.
Now, how many times in the last couple of seasons will we letting in silly goals?
Yeah, especially last season. Last season we would expect to concede first. Do you know what I mean? It was dreadful.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'm made up with that. And I hope Johnsy boy, I hope that, tells you about me. It's just we've just got to take every game, because you can't just come out and say, oh yeah, doing laps of honor, doing backward flips and cartwheels and everything else. We've just got to see how he progresses. You see, I've always said, I'm being honest. I mean, the lads he co-hosts with me, JK, he says, both of us, we get behind the team. We get behind every player that's playing with a number on his back and his name on his back, no matter who they are.
Yeah.
No matter who they are, we get behind them, and we want them to win every game. And we've got a right to criticise. If we want to criticise, we've got a right to. We've got a right to praise them as well, obviously. But you get fans. I don't know about you, Sean, but we get fans. I go back to the Shankly days, mate. I go back to when we won our first FA Cup. I go back when I was there in Rome, '77. Winning our first European Cup. I go right back there, being there. And yeah, I was criticising someone. And I got told that I was plastic and go and support another club. These are my people, I don't know who they are, But anyway, that's it. Do you have any problems like that?
About me complaining about the players and people telling me to support a local club? Absolutely, all the time. All the time. When I was podcasting and YouTube, and the amount of abuse that myself and Martin and others from our podcast got was incredible. And to me, it's like, if you were sitting in a pub watching a game and you were saying that player's not had a good game, you wouldn't get 3/4 of the abuse that you get online.
No.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, all the time. And I mean, we got to differentiate between the players and head coach and the owners. They're two separate entities. I'll always support the head coach and the players till the day I die. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
The owners are just custodians.
I don't like the owners, to be honest, because we've gone back on these pods. We have said, if Jurgen Klopp had the money, if they were to be invested, with the money that he wanted these players with, we would have won more than one Champions League, and certainly won more than just the one, what he won, Premiership. I'm certain of that. If he was if the pitch would have been invested properly, it's as simple as that. Because I said on a pod ages ago, We never signed. I was screaming out for 2 or 3 years for midfielders. Then going back 3 years ago, I was screaming out for them.
Yeah.
And as I said at the time, said last year, I said, we haven't signed a midfielder since Thiago signed 4 years ago. That's when he, 4 years we went without a midfielder. And Thiago was always injured anyway. So, as we go back, do you mind if I go on to a few comments,
Not
please?
at all. I'm just going to let these dogs out because they're trying to get in here. So good.
They might be back.
I've got 2 dogs trying to claw in to come in here.
So I'll go ahead then.
Be with
I'll
you
wait for
in a
you to
second.
come back. Cheers, mate. And I see the gal says a pint and a thumbs up, and all right, Frank. All right, mate. CW, evening legends. Oh, that's it. Cheers, T. Chris says, greetings, Frank and True Reds on the chat. Hit the likes and join the Red Revolution. Quietly. Quietly, yeah. I think I don't think any of us can be quiet, to be honest. Steve says, in other news, they finally signed Nagoa from Chelsea Academy. Meant to be mustard. Haven't seen him yet, personally. What's Nagoa? I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. Well, let's hope, that the kid is good. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. And this is my tea. This is my tea, believe it or not. I have to substitute for another meal. Ian Mack, exactly, Youssef, the days when you decided to go to games with your mates on the day of the match are all over. Yes. Inflated tickets for the ones who are lucky to afford it. Took our Francine, I'm going back a few years ago. And my grandson, then, James, and I bought the tickets. I think I paid, how much did I pay? I forget how much. I think it was 50 quid. But that's it. And I gave him then a few bob. He's going to pictures, he's going to cinema. So I gave him a few bob. And me and Francine went into town for a drink. That day it cost me near enough 400 quid just to go to match. So that's the way it is, Ian. That's the way it is. Martin Mason says, I think these big balls of money powers can fuck off. Out of our game, football is nothing. Great comment, because the other night, if you'd have been listening, Martin, what I was saying, I've got to tell you, the lads know on the chat who follow this channel. Can you do me a favour anyway, lads, who are tuning in? Can you press the like button, and also can you press the subscription button? As you know, it costs nothing. It's just to get the algorithm out there, up there. Rather. Thank you. If you do, that would be great.
I'm going to give you a as well, Frank.
Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you. And you know what, though? As I said, with all these these inflated prices, you've got to understand that it, as Martin says, and as Ian Max says, and everybody, it's a working class game. And I go back to Roy Keane, of all people, and I'm going back years ago. He said the game is becoming a prawn sandwich.
Yeah.
Think about that, And someone said to me, "What does he mean by the prawn sandwich?" I said, "Well, it's people who don't bother about football. They just like the hospitality." I said, and that's it. So the prices are going to go up, and boy, are they going up! Boy, are they going up! But anyway,
those hospitality tickets, Frank, aren't worth it at all. As I said, myself and a friend of mine went over, and we were in one of the so-called padded seats there in on the Annie Road stand, and wasn't. I mean, like you get a program, you get free food, drink. That's it.
And you meet the legend.
The legend I didn't even see. So I don't know who the legend was. I don't know who the
Could have
legend
met
was.
me.
And the funny thing about it is there's a load of Liverpool legends gigs that come over to Dublin, and I've been to so many of them, and I've seen so many legends, and it cost me about 25 to maybe €50, and that's it. Didn't cost me 1,300.
Yeah, well, I know Jan Moldy, and me and mate of mine, he owns a cafe in the city centre, Maggie Mays. That's where you get your scouts. And we were at the game in the main stand, and genuine this, Jan Moldy, I know Jan, and he comes over, he says, "All right, Frank, so I'm talking to Jan." And these two people come over and go like that. They just brush past you and go like, "Hello, Frank, how are you?
No.
I've got your DVD in the house. If we know that you was a baby, you could have signed it for us, And the answer just looked at it. It was brilliant, He said, that's good. He said, "Have I got your DVDs?" I said, "I know you have."
Yeah,
Brilliant.
lovely. Met him twice.
I'm going to go on to you. Just let me just go down here a little. Edward says, I'm going to go on about these, by the way, but just let me go down a little bit, please. Edward says, hopefully, new contract soon. Neil says, Villa charging 94 a ticket for the Champions League games. That will become the norm. There you go. Ian Mack paying on the cop with your mates all together and they're all destroyed now through greed. Ian Mack hit the nail on the head there, says Yusa. And sure no. And you're talking to yourselves. Yusuf correct. We made the club, poured our cash into supporting and then get dumped out of it. They can sell off tickets to the few corporates, that is, in brackets. As I was saying, Sean, I was in the stand. First time I ever went in the stand, because normally I went in the cop. That was our ritual, and it was chock-a-block one day. But then we went around the Annie Road, so we used to go around the Annie Roads as well, So we used to do the alternate. And one day we got tickets for the what is the main stand now today. It was the old stand, the posts in the way and everything. Anyway, we were sitting there, and the cop was in full swing. And I said to my mate James Allen, I said, "Do you know what, James? I'm only a young fella, younger now, then, than I am now." And I said, "It's us who make the club, James." I said, "It's you and I." And he said, "What do you mean?" And I just looked over at the cop. As I said, they were in full swing. I said, "Look at that." And they were singing. It was brilliant.
Amazing.
It was brilliant. I said, "See what I mean?" And this old fella behind me went like that. And he just tapped me on the shoulder. And he went, "So just listen to what you said there, mate." He said, "You're right. We've always made the club. And they should never, ever forget that." And he was, he was meaning the board and that. But our board was great then. Our board was great, if you know what I mean. And that's it. We make the club. Without the fans, the club's nothing. It's a simple. It's like this pod, Sean. It's like this pod. If there be no one on there, it's no use you and I talking to each other. So
No,
you wouldn't be pods without the chat, just supporters.
I agree with you. Unfortunately, what we're seeing now, certainly with the big content creators, or as I call them, the told the liners, they are now starting to create. Well, not that they've started; they have created a divide within the fan base. You know, the locals, the match goers, and the out of towners. And I find that a massive insult. I think there should be no divide. You know, there's plenty of Irish over in Liverpool. My sister lives over in Liverpool. You know, so it's a real pity. But that's the way football has gone, and that's, you know, under this ownership.
Well, I embrace everyone.
Yeah,
I embrace all our fans outside. I embrace them all. Whether you're from Ireland, whether you're from Norway, no matter where you're from, I
yeah,
embrace them. But you've got the diverse now, and that diverse, they can't differentiate between, the likes of me. I'm a Scouser, right? They can't differentiate between me and, say, you, Sean, for example, and your mates, right? Because if they can't get a ticket, they're going to blame you.
yeah, and that's what's happening. They are blaming us. They are blaming us.
Split the old fan base
Yeah,
down the middle, and it's
and
shocking.
it's so negative, and it's just not. What really annoys me, Frank, is, and I'm not having a pop at the Spirit of Shankly, because the Spirit of Shankly do a lot of good work locally with food banks and whatnot. But what annoys me is,
I have the food banks. I put foods in that big pot.
yeah,
You know, when I'm coming out the supermarket, I always throw these goods in there. And I've got a mate, he's a cracking lad, and he's not nothing to do with bloody SOS either.
yeah.
And
But
he works, he's a bus driver, and he's got a van, and he brings the food that's there,
yeah.
he brings them to the food banks. I'm sorry, go on.
No, well, I'm just saying that they don't represent the full the fan base.
Represent
They
me.
don't
I've said
represent
that
at all.
They don't represent me.
No, they don't. I mean, I know of plenty of. I mean, I was a member for a while and I left it, and I know plenty of Irish people that were in the union and had asked questions of the Spirit of Shankly, in particular about the owners, and they were told, "Go support your local team." You know,
There you go.
so.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean? But they're not targeting the companies that are selling season tickets and overcharging people for them, you know, for a day trip. They're not bringing up the important things, and that is where they failed miserably.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head, and that's everything to do with corporates as well. See, the businessmen, as I keep getting told, the businessmen. I was on the steps of St George's Hall here in Liverpool getting the Hicks and Gillette out because I didn't even want them. Not that I didn't know them; they were American, and I go back then. And I say, we do not need Americans, the businessmen. They'll take everything. I got called a nonce on some fella. He's a Liverpool supporter, but he's not a Scouser or nothing. He's a Liverpool supporter, nice fella, and tells everyone to fuck off or whatever. Anyway, I said something. This lad came on and said, was it this pod? No, it wasn't this pod. It was someone else. I'm sorry. There was someone that was it this pod. I'm not quite too sure now. Anyway, he said, FSG. Get onto this one. FSG don't take money out the club. Then another fella said, look what they've done for us. They built 2 stands and gave us the AXA training facility. He says, "You what?" I said, "We paid for that. We paid for that. Liverpool Football Club paid for that." And another fellow went like that. He said, "They saved us from administration." And I blow up at that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, go and ask the Royal Bank of Scotland what they said. They came out with a statement before these people took
Look
over.
at the court documents. Look at the court
Oh,
the court documents in the Supreme Court, and look at how that club was sold. We were never ever in fear of administration, but that narrative gets pushed along with the same narrative about look at the amount of money they spent on Nunes. We're not going on about the net spend. I had James Pearce telling me, oh, we're the net spend boys now, and complaining that I had a picture of his face and John W. Henry on Brockback Mountain. He's been going on that for years. And then a couple of years ago, he's given out about the net spend, but these guys, they cherry pick facts to fit their narrative. And
that's it. They just
it's
cherry pick.
Yeah.
And go on, they jump on a bandwagon if anyone says anything. See, I'm not one of the, believe this or not, Sean, I'm not one of these fellas who go, I want FSG out. I don't go on that bandwagon at all. But I do call them out for the negativity of the investments on the pitch. And Liverpool was a great club, we sold players. We brought players in. This is before all these Americans come in, by the way.
Mm.
And it was great. You've only got to look at David Moores. And David Moores, he built the Annie Road stands when he put he built the Cop and the Kenny Dalglish stand, and he was buying players. And one day he just turns around and he said, I can't afford this anymore. It was when that Abramovich took over Chelsea, and they were buying everyone them, big money and giving them big wages. Said, I can't carry on, so I'll have to sell the club. But he sold it to the wrong people, unfortunately. I said at the time, don't sell it to Americans, because Americans were there, trying to. Did you know? I don't know whether you're aware of this, but Gillette, he approached West Ham, he approached Aston Villa, and he approached Liverpool to buy the club, and they chased him. We chased him, and well,
dark days.
We just went down a big rabbit hole, and we're still down a rabbit hole where investment is concerned, so to say. Steve Evans says there's the Aston Villa Champions League game prices, shocking. The pride of Merseyside, Callum says, you get neutral fans in our ground that don't even support the club.
Yeah.
That's mad, that, isn't it? That's mad. That is mad.
The amount of people that say to me, how many times have you been at Anfield? My new answer to that is I've been in Anfield more times than FSG have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you won't know this because the first time you've been on. Do you know when Werner came over? I don't know when it was, one of the last couple of times I've been over. And I'm talking recently, And he was looking for the chairman's office. He's our chairman. And he went out to the steward. You know where the chairman's office is? Yeah, come on.
I didn't know that.
Does it tell you everything?
Oh, yeah.
Does it tell you everything? George said, good evening, Frank, and everyone in the chat.
Evening, George. Evening.
Good to see you, Sean, off the Arne.
It was, yeah. I know. I think TW74 may have subscribed to my channel years and years back.
Oh, right, okay.
Got some Oasis.
Frank, I've got you some Oasis soup. You get a roll with it. lads. And KP, you know, he's spot on. He says the game is outpricing itself. And he's so right. I'm going to go right down to get up to date. I'm sorry, lads, if I'm this lad. Slot's very plain speaking, naming names and assist on basic virtues. Win your battles, track back and don't squander possession, say Songsbury. 4K. And yeah, I've got to mention these lads. I'm sorry. Remember going to the last game in '86 versus Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, says George. I could only get a ticket for the East Middle. I was shocked at how much they charged me. I never paid so much at the time. £9. £9. So far, so good. Slot, yes, says AKM LFC. Yes, absolutely, lad. James MK. Hello, Frank and Zol. Yes, the real emotion, passion of the fan that used to be at the ground, working class passion, being replaced by a bag of silent sandwiches. That's a brilliant comment, isn't it? But, hey. And Chris says, Sean's up. It's fine moaning about Fenway, but if we don't do anything about them, they won't care. Protest and boycott if you dare care. Support our team. We are the club. Well, you know, it's okay. It's okay. We will moan, and that's the problem. If we're moaning about a player, or even Slot, put it that way, you know, moaning, you're not going to go outside his house, are you? Protesting. But what's that all about? And where do you protest?
Sorry, Frank. The thing about that, Chris, is I actually tried to organise a protest. I don't know, many people will remember Fenway We Come Not to Pay. I was the creator of that YouTube channel and podcast. Martin Mason is actually one of the guys that protested, actually turned up for the protest. I couldn't go over at the time. I was on holiday. But we tried doing that protest and no one turned up. And it's just a case of people just not been bothered doing it. I'll always support the club. Again, it's different. The club, the players, and the head coach are separate entities to the owners. That's, you know, I don't have to support the owners, and if I don't support the owners, that doesn't mean that I don't support the club or I don't support Slot and the players. That's totally untrue.
Well, that's why, Sean, I understand that. I empathise with that. It's simply because JK and myself have said numerous times that we support the 11 players on the pitch and the substitutes. That's who we support. We support the team. I'm not interested in the owners, but I know what they are. The penny pinching people. You know what I mean? Because as you mentioned about the net spend, you know, how can teams who are struggling anyway spend more than us?
Exactly.
That just doesn't make sense. We got a number. I wanted a number 6. And I still want a number 6.
Yeah. So
no matter how well Gravenberch is playing. The point is, I'll tell you this now. The likes of Trent, the Big Veg, and Mo, they'll all get the contracts. I know they'll get the contracts. Tell you why. Because they can't afford to turn around and say, no, you can go at the end of the season. Do they think that we're fucking stupid or something? And what they're going to turn around and say then, now wait till January. That's when they're going to get the contract. Yeah. Because they're not going to spend in January. So it'll be, they're like 3 new signings. And people will fall for that.
Yeah, of course they will.
People will fall for that.
But
when we get, sorry, go.
No, sorry, Frank, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. But just going back to what Chris was saying, I mean, we've seen fans being criticised of their protests, like the plane that flew over Anfield when we trash United 7-0. We saw Spine Cop 1906 and their protest in the Cop, which, I mean, I have to admit it was cringe, because it was, what did that achieve? Do you think John W. Henry and Tom Warner are thinking, oh, sweet Jesus, there's no flags in the Cop, what are we going to do? We're going to have to reduce the prices of the tickets. That did nothing. And I mean, you know, Spirit of Shankly backed that. Anfield Rap, Redmen TV, all of them, they backed that. And yet we're saying, oh, it's cringe to have a plane flying over Anfield with FSG out on it. And yet the whole reason why these tickets are going up is because of FSG. And I mean, that whole kind of no banner in the Cop did nothing. And Spirit of Shankly backed that, but then also backed the fact that the tickets were going up because they were supposedly part of the board. So, I mean, it's
no, you're right, because as soon as they came in, they said we want we want banners banned, the flags and everything. They wanted them all banned because, as you said, you know, they didn't want FSG out right across the Cop. They didn't want to see that. They didn't want any planes flying. You see, I'm a historian, and I know what's going on in the world today. And I'm talking about big issues. And if you look in America and you're looking in this country now, freedom of speech is gone. But it's the Americans who are condemning freedom of speech. They condemn it because I know some lads, you've only got to look at Julian Assange. You've only got to look at this lad now who owns Telegram, who's being arrested in France.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You've got I follow a fellow by the name of Scott Ritter, and the FBI raided his house, and he was a major in the Marines, and he was a weapons inspector, you know, before the Iraqi war, and he said there's no weapons here, but based on a lie, you see. So I follow that type of news, and it's freedom of speech. People can get locked up if you say anything against the narrative. And these are the Americans. It's proven what FSG did by banning the banners. No flags, no, we don't want them here. We don't want any planes flying over with us get them out.
But
so
Frank,
they buy people off. They buy them off.
Yeah. Frank, we had, like, with the protests that we were trying to organise, Martin was paramount to that. He was basically organising, I was organising from Ireland. But a supporters club, an official supporters club in Ireland, reported it to the Merseyside police. And a week before, Martin won't mind me saying this because we joke about it to this day, but a week before he got married, the Merseyside police had called to his door. And I was over in Galway in Ireland at the time, and I had to ring the Merseyside police, explain to them what the protest was regarding, and they were okay at the end, but the protest died a death. And of course we had, you know, the typical YouTubers and podcasters and journalists that took the absolute Michael out of it. They really did. But I mean, there was us showing our expressing our opinion, and it got shot down. It was either getting shot down like that or with ridicule, insults, and basically online harassment. It was crazy.
And you know what, though? You know, if you take Red Sox studio over there in Boston, the Bostonians hate them.
Yeah.
So there's something, you know, we're not wrong, you know, and there's Americans, you know, they're not interested in us, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about the the lads who support that baseball team, the Red
Yeah,
Sox.
absolutely
They
hate it.
said, they came out and said, "You've got the worst owners
Yeah,
possible." They said it. They said it to us. You
yeah.
see what I mean? They hate them. So, they must be doing something wrong for,
Well,
the Boston Red Sox. And
the funny thing about that, Frank, is that they also said they will manage your expectations. And we've had a journalist that has kind of done the circuit over the last while, and it's very unusual for him to do this. He's gone on NBC Sports, he's gone on The Overlap, and he's, bigging up Richard Hughes and bigging up FSG and all of that. And he was on a podcast there the other day. He looked like some kind of Enrico Iglesias from Wish.com, but he had a baseball hat on him, and it was the Red Sox hat on him, David Ornstein. And this guy is trying.
David Ornstein
had a Boston Red Sox baseball hat on him, and he's trying to convince us Richard Hughes is doing. I mean, I'll read out what he said because it's fascinating stuff. So he says, "Credit to Richard Hughes. I've said this a few times on air, and some fans have reacted quite badly, but I think bit by bit people are starting to say similar things." He goes on to say, "It's just watching, listening, and talking to people who are better versed in the situation than us. They're very complimentary. I speak to other clubs, directors, people who move in a similar world, sporting directors, technical directors, and so far they're taking their hat off to Richard Hughes." Now, my analysis of that, Frank, is people who are better versed in the situation. So that basically means if you're a fan, you're not better versed in the situation and therefore should not have a say. He's saying people that are moving similar worlds, well, we're not in that world and therefore we should not have a say. And he's almost forcing it and saying, well, he's respected by his peers, so therefore we should respect him. I don't see what he did in this transfer window that would want me to respect him or say he's done a good
job. What's he fucking done?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to you.
He brought in Chiesa to appease the fans. Now, I follow Serie A. I follow it. I don't support England or anybody. I support the Azzurri.
Yeah.
Only because of my mum's side, my granddad and, my family side. And, Napoli as well. And Inter, believe it or not. Inter, I support. The point is, Chiesa, people were asking me, "Oh, what's Chiesa like?" And all the hype and everything. I don't get me wrong, I like Chiesa. I'll get right behind Chiesa, but he's actually being dropped. Juve couldn't wait to get shut of him. I'm sorry, people might be disagreeing with me. Chiesa was brought in for 10 million or 12, whatever it was. We brought in 50 odd million anyway, but sales. So he's been brought in to appease fans because everyone was going on saying, we haven't bought anybody.
He's brought in from Solanke money. He's brought in from the Solanke money. It's the same. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So they didn't spend a damn penny.
No. And we got more for Solanke, if you know what I mean. There was change out when we bought Chiesa. It's absolutely ridiculous. It says, and it pisses me off. Oh, Kevin Gibney, good evening, Frank. Good evening, Kevin. And fair comment, Frank, whatever the comment was before. I'm going to go right down. I'm sorry, lads. I really have to go right down to see. Do you know what? I missed out. Richard. Hi, Frank and chat. How are you doing? Share, subscribe, comment, like, and you never walk alone. And many thanks. He's a lovely man, He's one of us. There's Richard.
Good man, Richard.
Yes, he's a cracker. Nick Fowley. Hi, Frank. And at AKM LFC.
Yeah, that's my channel, or not my channel, but that's Adam Naylor's channel that I'm
Adam
partly.
Naylor. I haven't seen you. I honestly, I haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
you should come on our chat, or we do a Monday show at 7 o'clock.
Oh, do you know what? I do a history show. I'm a historian. I'm a PhD.
I saw one of your videos. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
See, and I do a history show, which it's important to me because do you just do one Monday show, yeah?
I think we're hoping to do more. Yeah, I mean, like it's.
I could come on the first hour, and then leave it about 7:45, because
that's fine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just send a link and I'll come on and
Martin
Martin's what?
Martin is part of that.
Oh, okay.
You see the three characters there? So that's Martin.
Yeah. You three, yeah.
That's Adam, and that's myself, as you can clearly see.
The great things photographs, though.
I love them. Yeah, I love them. I'll be looking to find out where you got that, because I'd be looking to get one of them. I love it.
Do you know what? I've got one. I can't take it down though, and it's me and Jürgen. Oh. I'm standing there like that. Me and Jürgen Klopp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, this one with the greats. A lovely man by the name of George Scott, the Lost Shankly book. That's who the book was written about, cracking fella, because Shankly signed him. The Lost Shankly boy. The Shank signed him.
I have to get that. He was on the show last week, wasn't he?
That's right. And he's on every week,
Yeah.
And he's a smashing fella. And he came down yesterday with this book for one of the lads, Neil Broderick. And he signed it for him, and he said, "Yeah, I've got this for you." So I looked, I said, "Oh, thanks, George." Because he brought one down of me and Jürgen together, but I've got that hanging up. Anyway, he says, "I've got this wall mounted for you." And he sent me an email, and he said, "I've got it. It came today." He said, "So I'll bring it down for you." I said, "Well, what do you want? What about this one here? Do you want it back?" He said, "No, that's yours. Right? You keep that. And I'll bring the wall-mounted ones out." So I made up, which is good. Yeah, get your details off George. I'll get them. IBR.
Yeah.
Free speech is dead in this country. IBR. Hello, Frank. It's the vlogs. Just wondering, before Melwood's, where Liverpool trained for 60 years, where did they train before they went to Melwood? In the car park. I used to be on LFC TV, for a few years. Anyway, I was talking to the likes of Chris Lawler and Tommy Smith. That got to know them, and that's where they used to train. And Roy Evans used to tell me that as well, in the car park. It's mad, isn't it?
Crazy when you think.
That's true, that. So that's it, vlogs. James says, "Remember the uproar over the Super League, or was it ticket prices? There was a walkout or something. FSG took notice, a little stop buying." The thing, yes, stop buying the merch. This is why. Can I just do this, please? Right. Look at this, lads. I support small businesses, Sean, and I support that scarf or a badge. And the two great people, man and wife, Mick and Michelle, his wife, and the merchandise is great. I've got one on now. I've got this here. I've got this. And that's one of the merchandise, and it's all quality stuff. It really is. I've washed this millions of times. Never loses its colour or anything. And it doesn't shrink, it doesn't go big. It's just everything. Anyway, that's that scarf badge by the ground. And if you're going to the next home game, just pop in, see what you can buy. They've got everything there. Big hoodies and, t-shirts, caps, everything they've got. All brilliant quality stuff. That's that scarf badge. There's our fantasy football people. It's not too late, but if you can get them in now, and there's the little link thing there, X3CD3T, So and you'll get it on the FC.Liverpool description. You'll get all that, and you can win this.
Oh wow!
You can win that. That's off me. That cost a lot of money, to be honest. So whoever wins it, that's your prize. It's a crack and watch. It's French, but I don't know how you say it's French when it's Swiss made, but that's what it is. Swiss made, crack and watch. Right. You don't have to get the strap it. I'll show you. I've got it here.
All right, Brandon. Just saying hello to some of the comments there, Frank, for you. Martin says, I feel until fans stand together, FSG just creamed.
What was that?
I'm just after reading Martin's comment there. I feel until fans stand together, FSG just creamed themselves. Not too sure what he means by that.
Look, there's the watch.
I'll show you the watch.
I'll show you the watch. There it is. Oh, no. There it is. And it's, as I said, you don't need the thing. It's all adjustable, so no links taken out, no nothing. And it's absolutely brilliant. As I said, cost me a few bob. And whoever wins, I can't get the bloody thing open, to be honest. But there it is. So that's that's the inside of it. It's all work and see. So you see the inside. That's the face. Great time telling as well. Everything's perfect on it. So a lucky person, a lucky patron. That's it. You've got to be in the fantasy football.
I'm not doing too well on my own, Frank, so I don't know what they're enjoying.
I haven't. I won't. I don't do it myself. No, I see that comments. I feel until fans stand together. Of course, they cream in every week.
Yeah.
And they cream off us as well. That's what it is. I understand what he's saying about creaming themselves because they're made.
Absolutely.
They're made. And funny enough, people say, well, look what they've made it from 300 million to 5 billion. I said, no, they didn't. I said, it was Jürgen Klopp who made them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not FSG. Not FSG. And Martin says, I just feel the passion has gone from the game. We're just fighting between ourselves. I was brought up never to walk alone, but these days people rather walk alone because it's voicing opinions, and you get. Well, as I said before, Martin. As I said, I was told to go and support. called a plastic fan and go support another club. They don't know me. Their club slated any no need for it. Their club there slated, and of course there's no need. Of course there's no need. But you don't get told what to say. The Mighty Reds 97. Frank, I've come across your account because of Sean. You seem such a legend with a good heart. Subscribed immediately, says the Mighty Reds.
That's Brandon over in South Africa. Lovely guy. Really, really salt of the earth. Really, really nice guy. And like yourself, Frank, he's got a bit of criticism online, and he's told, "Oh well, I bet you never, went to a game." He lives in South Africa. What do you expect him to do? You know, and that makes him less of a fan because he doesn't go to Anfield regularly. I mean, he lives in South Africa. Really nice guy.
That's what I mean. You don't go to the game. Neither do they, I suppose. Neither do they go to the game.
No.
Who were telling him, you don't go to the game, Sods off. Get away. You know what I mean? You're all right. You'll be all right with us, Mighty Reds. You can comment, you can show opinions and do everything. You won't get any crap from us, I'm telling you now. Douglas James. Hi, Frank. Hi, Sean. When did Fenway we become not to pay, start and finish? Many thanks. Do you ever remember their slogan?
Yeah, it was the Warriors slogan.
To play. It was to play. Become not to play. What the fuck's that all about?
It was dreadful. We there's a guy. He's a Scouser. He lives in Serbia or somewhere, Serbia, Montenegro, or whatever it's called now. And he used to be part of Fenway We Come Not to Pay with me. And there's a bit of an argument as to who. Well, not with me, because I don't remember who named what, to be honest with you. But it started, I think, about a year after FSG had bought the club. And it finished, I'm thinking it finished about 5-6 years ago. I just had about enough of the dog's abuse that I was getting, to be honest with you. It was affecting my personal life, and I just no, you
just got away from those people.
Yeah, just got away completely from it.
You stay clear. I know what you mean, by the way, because I got it.
It was I think shortly after Klopp had become manager.
Yeah. Now stay clear of those. To be honest, Sean. And James says, I support your local shops. Yeah. Honestly, at Scarf or Badger, brilliant. And Steve Evans says, Mick and Michelle are boss, and I've got a few of their tops, belter quality. There you go. Put one on. And you know what? I was in there. I go to Italy every year. But this time I went to every year I go to. Anyway, a mate of mine said, will you come to Tenerife? Not Tenerife, I'm sorry, Turkey. I said, yes, sure. Because I hadn't been away, you see. So anyway, I went there with him. And there was this fella, somehow fella. And every day he looked at me and he went, looking at, because I was wearing all, Mick and Michelle's gear, Liverpool, and things like this, not big loud things or anything. And he said, Liverpool, he could hardly speak English, but what he could say was, I love Liverpool. I love Liverpool. The football.
Yeah.
Jürgen Klopp. Jürgen Klopp, so he said, so when I was leaving, I went like that. I said, yeah. Made up with about 6 t-shirts,
Yes.
60, he was made up with them. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of great independent designers. I actually follow them. I have a little shop as well, but it's on Redbubble. and I design a few things. I buy my own stuff as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, when are you going? When are you coming the game? When are you going the next game? Have you got any idea?
Oh, I don't know, because I've been to 2 already this year, and I have family that aren't very well at the moment, so I don't know. I'm actually going over to see Martin in October, and I'll be Adam and myself are going over because his young lad.
Come and visit me. Come and visit me.
Yeah, well, he's in Warrington now. He's in a boxing
Yeah, but God
tournament.
damn it, it's only down the road, Warrington.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, definitely.
Just come and see me. Come and bring Martin with you as well.
Yeah,
That'd be good. Does he drive?
he does drive
Oh, there
people.
you go. There you go. So the
Yeah.
previous come down and see me. I'll give you I'm not going to put my address on here because all them FSG lovers will be running after me.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Protesting at my door.
Yeah, there's AKM LFC. That's Adam there, Adam Naylor, top bloke.
When I showed the watch, look at that, KP. I'm sure I dropped that watch last week. Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
Tell you, wouldn't drop that.
Gracious, I'm sure I dropped that watch last week. Songs for K. I fail on squad management in fantasy football. I usually sack myself before Christmas. Stick to it, songs. Stick to it, lads.
Doing a tin hag.
And Mark Simons, Mick and Michelle LFC merch is top quality. It is, It is. I'll even bring, when you come and see me, I'll bring you up there to show you.
Yeah, do.
Show you where it is.
Yeah.
It's really good. The way I look at it, say songs for K. I watch football to appreciate the game, not run a club or sack players. Absolutely. Right, I'm going to go on now. Look, your mate's going. Sean and Frank, I'm off, boys. I'm sub to you. Thank you, Martin. Sean was dying to give his rant. Let him off the flesh. But listen, what do you think of? I want your opinion. What's your opinion about? You know what I said about the contracts before.
Yeah.
Would that be your opinion as well? Like 3 new signings to appease the fans, and fans will believe it. I won't believe it. You won't believe it. The chat won't believe it.
It's the same rubbish every year. I mean, I remember when Salah, when his first his last contract, when we all thought he was leaving then, and then like they did a little promotion where he, was on the beach and then he picks up his jersey and, he'd signed or whatever. And it's kind of like, well, we've got him. And that kind of made up for the fact that we'd not made many signings or we didn't strengthen the squad where we needed strengthening. And it's the same rubbish. I think, going back to Richard Hughes, I think the first thing that you do at Liverpool Football Club when you take over that role is you look at the players that need contracts and you sign them. No player, especially Virgil, Trent, and Salah, should be down to the last 12 months of their contract. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And you might see that. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I get it all the time, but I live Liverpool with every fibre of my being, and that's what matters. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a clever little comment. That.
Yeah.
Welcome to this channel, Sean. Says,
appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Daryl's going through a terrible time at the moment.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's shocking, honest to God. And Daryl says, Redmen TV are on the FSG payroll. Fact.
Paul Nation and myself, like Paul Nation would kind of remember me from doing Fenway We Come Not to Pay, and let's say he bumped into someone I know, I won't mention any names, and he asked, "So how was Sean? What's Sean up to lately?" And he was told that I was going to the Liverpool Legends match. I was really, really lucky to go to that. And he says, "Oh," he kind of joked. He says, "Oh, you all out of towners getting tickets to our matches." The day that I went to see that Liverpool Legends match, he was over in Dublin in the Ambassador. So, do you know what I mean? I don't know whether I can't say that they're on the FSG payroll or anything like that, but they certainly told the corporate line to keep their exclusives. And
yeah, exactly. That's you hit the nail on the head. It's to keep their exclusives.
Yeah,
that's all. But their exclusives are not worth fucking reading anyway.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
And I mean, they talk about regular match goers. Would they go to as many games if they didn't toe the line? I somehow doubt it.
Well, George Seth says, Frank and Sean, I've not been the match since they stopped Wally Bennett's Liverpool agent, were scrapped by the club. Well, there you go, you see, George. There you go. And Darryl says, I stopped going as I couldn't fit through the gates. He's a big man, by the way. He's a big fella, this George says, Darryl, did you ever go when you could say, go in with your mate through the turnstile? There's no chance. He couldn't even get in the gate anyway. But that's true, that's absolutely true. Yeah. Chris says, Redmen TV, yeah, that's sure, yeah, etc. K. Mac Phillips, if they aren't under the Fenway tone, they want to be. I don't think Phillips is, to be honest. I don't think he is, because he's been on my show. But the likes of K. Mac, and he wanted Klopp gone 2 years ago.
Klopp, I mean, bought FSG more time. And as soon as Klopp left, I mean, we were going to see FSG's true colours,
Jazz. Big up Frank and guest. Hope all as well today. Hiya, Jazz.
Thank you, Daz.
He's a nice fella, this Daz. But, getting back to the realities of football, I hate this international break, by the way.
Oh.
I hate it. It's unnecessary. What does it achieve? It could achieve a little couple of injuries, as you know. And I'd rather... I don't know. I just don't know. We can't say to the players, our clubs can't say to all the players, our players, listen, you're not going. Because they love playing for their country. They love playing for their country. Yeah. And, so we really can't stop them from going. But I go back to when Jamie Redknapp was a great player for us. Great Jamie.
Yeah.
And every time he was called up by England, he got injured. Every time. He was out for yonks with his injuries. And he couldn't play at the Cardiff Cup final in 2001 because of it. Playing for stupid England. Yeah, no, I don't know whether... I know. Great to have you on board, Sean, by the way. Up the air, Reds.
Thank you, Steve.
I know. And Darryl says, this is true, this. All these being mentioned also wanted Diaz to go.
Yeah.
And Mo.
Yeah.
They wanted Mo to go. and Lucio. They wanted them to go. And myself and JK was saying, are these right? Do they know what Mo Salah every season? This is just before the season started, by the way. This is while during the pre-season. But even last season, they wanted to sell Salah, at the end of the season. Sell Diaz, because what's he doing? He's useless. And all this. And anyway, I just said, on here, I said, so you want to get rid of a player who breaks every record every season for Liverpool Football Club? You want to get rid of him? That's Mo, by the way. So the first game of the season, he breaks a record. He scored.
Yeah, but you know why? Do you know why they want to get rid of him? Because they're thinking like FSG. They're thinking, well, right, this is the only time when we can actually cash in on Salah. Otherwise, he's going to go on a free. That's what they're thinking of. So they're becoming less of fans and they're becoming more accountants and businessmen, where they celebrate FSG making a profit. They think about, well, what would we get for Diaz? What player would we get instead of him? What would we get for Mo? Because Mo is getting on a bit. I'd keep Mo till he's 35 or 36. He's incredible.
Yeah, there's another 3 seasons well in him.
Absolutely.
But I reckon that the contract will be for 2 years with an option of another 2. That's what it'll be.
I'm a little bit worried about Frank, to be honest with you, because you saw what they did with Milner. You saw what they did with Bobby. Genie left on the free. Milner, Klopp wanted Milner to stay. Milner wanted to stay. Bobby wanted to stay. So I don't know whether that's going to be taken out of. It will be taken out of Slot's hands, because Slot will not have a say at all.
No, he's got no say in anything. But this is Mo Salah. This isn't Bobby. This isn't Milner. Milner's days were numbers anyway. Let's be honest. He was 62, wasn't he? So he was coming up to retirement, proper retirement. But this is Mo Salah. This is a fella who breaks. He's a legend.
Absolutely.
He's still got years left. And if they take away that, if Hughes and fucking Edwards, I don't like Edwards and putting us on the line now. I don't like Edwards because he left Liverpool. He walked out on Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. 6 months later, Jurgen Ward, he left after him taking over there. So you ask yourself, why did they leave? And all of a sudden,
he comes back.
The 2 of them.
And no question, no
fucking questions. And then Jurgen goes like that, I'm leaving.
I mean, can those
I want to stay, he says, I want to stay, but I have to leave. Think about that quote.
Can those journalists be that bad that they wouldn't ask the question, why did you leave in the first place and why are you back?
Exactly, they won't, because they know. They know.
And I mean, a reporter or a journalist should remain impartial and just report and ask the serious questions, ask the real hard questions and get answers from them, not force this opinion or be dominated by the elite or dominated by, let's say, FSG, for example, and toe the line, otherwise they won't have their exclusive. You saw James Pearce, he was silenced by Klopp.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
So why was that? Because he went from the Fenway Echoes, I call them, to the Athletic. He started going on about the net spend. Well done, James, after about 8 or 9 years before I talked to you about it. And he was questioning the owners and their investment into the club, which is, there is no investment. But like, the further you leave all these podcasters, all these YouTubers, the main clique, the further that you leave them, the more truth you get, the more honest reporting that you get. and it's dumbing down the fan base. Like Ian Doyle the other night, he sends out a tweet. He got out of the was it Blood Red live podcast. There's a lot of angry Liverpool fans on it who hate FSG, and some would sooner the club was like Chelsea and Man United. Who wants the club run like Chelsea and Man United? We're talking about necessary spending. We're not talking about throwing money all over the place.
Well, that's their excuse.
Exactly.
That's their excuse. Not only that, but when they say we don't want oil money, hang on, fucking support the fucking team. Support the pitch. If they were proper owners, they'd be investing on the pitch. And the excuses that some of our fans who haven't a clue, unfortunately, come out and say, look what they've done for us. I questioned one once. So what have they done?
They've done the bare minimum. They've done the bare minimum.
They built us. I said, no, we fucking built it. Well, the bills in there. And here's the crux of it.
And the other thing about the stadium, while staying in Anfield is absolutely amazing and it's great, and I would want to stay in Anfield, that would be my decision. Absolutely. The way that they have extended that stadium, is it going to be a case that we may have to move out of there one way or another? Because what I would have done if I was FSG,
you putting the callers there.
Well, what I would have done is I would have made the Kop the pivotal stand. I would have made it like the yellow wall in Dortmund. That's what I would have done, even if it meant having to push the stadium up a little bit further around the Yanni stand. That's what I would have done. But I don't know. I mean, they need to do something about that. But again, as you said, it's not a case that they did anything. What they did was they took the opportunity of expanding our horizons, going out to the global market where Gillette and Hicks didn't, and that's what they did. They made a 300 million club to a 4 or 5 million club. But one thing, I don't know whether Frank you watched this or not. I've well prepared for this. You probably watched Rafa on the overlap, and he was talking about Gillette and Hicks, and he was talking about the net spend around Gillette and Hicks time, which was anything from 15 million to 20 million. Now, before this transfer window, Liverpool has spent a total of 1.474 billion on transfers since FSG took over in 2010. Okay, we've earned 881.7 million through selling of players. Okay, so that's a net spend of in around 502.6 million. This summer, we've got the goalkeeper for 30 million. We've got Chiesa for 13 million. So that's in around 43 million. If you subtract the 55 million from the player sales and then the 13 million for the Solanke sell-on clause, our net spend is now 477.6 million. That's our net spend. So within 28 transfer windows under FSG, our net spend is 17.057 million.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Absolutely.
So that's a £300 club versus a 5 billion club. That's Cowboys that pretended to have the money versus Cowboys that pretend not to have the money.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Well, it is. It's put in a nutshell what you just said there, and the net spend is ridiculous. But as I said, what you've got as well is appeasement. Remember Klopp, when he said to the journalist a couple of seasons ago, it was on the penultimate day of the transfers, and he's saying, You're right to the journals, I was wrong. The next day, this is about midfielders, by the way,
Mm.
and he said, I was wrong, you were right. And the next day, we brought in the last day of the transfer, Arthur Melo.
Arthur,
Arthur Melo. We brought him in. Do you ever remember when we needed centre backs?
yeah,
And we ended up with Nat Phillips and a low knee Kabak.
yeah. The season after we won the league, they wouldn't allow, they wouldn't invest. They wouldn't invest. So what they did was we ended up. It was so bad. We had central midfielders playing in defence. A stature of the size of Liverpool Football Club were resorted to that as a result of these owners not wanting to sell or not wanting to put their money, put their hand in their pocket. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I've been
Of
saying it for
course it is.
years.
Of course it is. KP, mow the machine. You know, if he doesn't get a contract, I'm just saying this. If he doesn't get one, that'll be made up when he just go on a free. I'll tell you for why it be made up. If they just want to get rid of him, he'll take the money of his transfer when he leaves. You know what I mean? Rather than it going to FSG, that'll fucking squander it anyway on new yachts or whatever they fucking do with it. Anyway, but the fans will be in uproar. I'm telling you.
I hope
That's
they
why
are.
they're going to get the. That's why they're going to get the thing and pay new signings. Mark my words. How did you take the Mo Salah comments? Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about. It's up to the club. Now, Richard Hughes, what the fuck has he done? What's he done? He's done nothing. He thinks he's still at fucking Bournemouth, and he's got a Bournemouth mentality.
But
But as
what?
you said here before, Sean, about no one questions why not use the mates, but where that Edwards and Hughes and Slot, especially Hughes and mates. Do you know that?
No.
The mates. The mates. Do you want a job at Liverpool? Are you fucking kidding? Do you want a job? Then right into. Well, all right. You'll be working for Liverpool. That's what it was.
That's crazy.
AKM LFC. AXA paid for the new trade. Yeah, I've said that loads of times. But we paid half of it as well, AKM.
But if you want to also, if you want to question, the fans that are wanting FSG out or, questioning FSG, and you have this narrative that you push, well, you just want oil money and you want these owners that have human rights issues and what have you. Look at the likes of AXA. Look at the likes of Nike. You can't just cherry pick where you want to have your morals. You're either all in or you're not.
Exactly. Fucking McDonald's and everyone.
Exactly. Starbucks.
Starbucks. Do you know what? It's pathetic. They haven't a clue. Look, I respect. I'm a Roman Catholic, and I say 2 prayers every night, and I have done for many, many years. Since I was a little nippy. 2 prayers every night, even when I'm drunk. Just say me Hail Mary, me Our Father, But I do that. I embrace any religion, whatever it is. You embrace it. But to go on about a country that says they're living in medieval times, we don't want their money, whatever, they don't know the history of it. They haven't a clue. They haven't a clue. And I tell you now, not you, Sean, tell people up there, do me a favour, go on YouTube and stream today Iran.
Yeah.
Just stream Iran. That's all. Just go and stream it and see how the young live. The young live fucking better than the young gear. They dress. They haven't got all these turbans on and whatever and yes max and just have a look. Ordinary people enjoying themselves. So, you know, you're getting the wrong idea. It's only all the propaganda that comes out. Oil money. We fucking sell oil. This country sells oil. We've got oil up in there. Our young Michael's lad, he works on the oil rigs. So we drill for oil. We sell it to the Arabs as well. We've got the biggest monetary thing, you know, that's making millions of money now, today. Today is that's keeping our economic forum up. Not forum, economics up. It's the war machine. They're building big bombs and everything else and missiles and whatever to go and bomb places. And I'm not going to mention the bombing the places, bombs that we fucking make. So where's the morality? Don't come out with fucking morality to me.
Exactly. And I mean, the amount of xenophobic comments, and again, from these particular big YouTubers and podcasters that come out and like they are the moral high ground, or they claim to be, and they claim to be the only opinion that's out there, and they claim to be the biggest, you know, out there. But the amount of xenophobic comments that they make with regards to, well, who would you go for? Well, hold on, let me just check my book of billionaires here till I check which owner I'd like. It's not like that. And if you're going on religion, if you're going on where they're from, that is xenophobic. No matter what way you look at it, it is xenophobic. If you're going on about human rights, we could all really we can't look past our own nose. I mean, Ireland have human rights issues. America has human rights issues. Massive human rights issues. And I'm not going to go into that either. That's maybe for another show, Frank. But, you know, we can't be...
You'll have to come on. I'll do the social issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll be doing one in a couple of weeks. It'll be on a Friday night, though. And it's about what's going on in the world today. And about human rights, if you know what I mean. Everything, it goes on this show because, unfortunately, you know, people, they just jump on a bandwagon. And it's like football. Like, these are great, our owners are great. Why do you want oil people? You know, if you want oil people, you're going up. No, they haven't a fucking clue about human rights. They haven't a clue about countries.
And they're cherry picking.
No, I just go on about Russophobics. They're jumping on a bandwagon about them. You know what I mean? It's absolutely ridiculous. It really is, because they haven't a clue. They haven't a clue.
No.
Anyway, FSG don't pay for outsays, AKN LFC. James says, look, there is a saying: if it's important to you, you find a way. If it's not important to you, you will find an excuse. FSG greed excuses TV all night long. I've met there's something you might know. Did you know that I met John Henry?
No.
I met him. And do you know when you shake hands with someone and you know that you can tell by the character of shaking hands, you know that?
Yeah.
It was like shaking hands with a wet fish.
Like you know exactly by him, because I mean, you know, who wears gloves 365 days in the year. I mean, himself and Linda. Now, I'm all for Linda. Linda actually speaks out about Liverpool and talks more about Liverpool than John W. Henry does.
Yeah.
There are times I see John W. Henry. The last time I saw him in Anfield, he didn't look whether he knew whether he was in the Boston Red Sox or Fenway Park or Pittsburgh Penguins. He didn't look all there. But, I mean, I'll always remember John W. Henry not shaking the hands of Kenny Dalglish. And fans didn't say anything about that either. And yet, they have a stand with his name on it. They sing about him. And yet they didn't give a goddamn rat's ass about John W. Henry showing disrespect and not shaking his hand. I just felt that was horrible.
Well, do you know, I'll tell you a little story about when I met him. I was on LFC TV and we just got beaten by, we were doing a live show, me and St. John, Ian St. John. And he said to me, the Saints, after everything, you know, finished with the LFC TV, he said, "Do you fancy a drink, Frank?" I said, "Yes, sure." So we went around to this bar and grill in Brunswick Street here in Liverpool. And so it wasn't far from the studio, you know. Anyway, we walks around there, we goes in. There was one fella at the bar standing further up. And me and the Saints just walks to the bar, orders 2 beers. The beers come. And now I'm talking to you the way you're talking to me. And the Saint said, turned like that, you know, just turned and went, "There's John Henry there." And I went, "We just got beat. Gareth Bale scored against us, got beat 2-0. I went, "Okay." I said, "I'm going over to him." And he went, "Ah, yeah." St. John. He said, "Ah, yeah." I said, "Yeah." So I went over to him. And I went, "Hello, Mr. Henry." So, you know. And he went, "Hello there." You know, and the wet fish, as I said. And I went, "Listen," I said, "we need to buy players, you know." I said, "That wasn't good enough today to get beat by that team. We're far more superior than them. We need players. Everything's in hand."
Is it?
And I said, "Okay." I said, "You see that man standing there, pointed at the Saint?" And he looked over. I said, "He's what you call a Liverpool legend." And I gave him a very quick, brief summary of St. John. I said, "Even people in Borneo know him." I said, "That's how much of a legend he is." And he looked, and I went like that, you know. And the Saint thought I was calling him over, and he walked over. And I said, "This is we call him the Saint." And he put his hands out to the Saint and went, "And who are you?" I said, "I fucking told you. I've just told you." Then that Werner there, that, you know, went, "Hey, Gianna, our steaks are ready."
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's dreadful. It really is. I mean, I know that Amanda Stavely, you know, was interested in buying the club.
She's a Liverpool supporter.
Liverpool supporter, and she turned up. She was at every game, you know, when she owned Newcastle. But I look, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I'd much prefer FSG sorted out rather than FSG out. But a leopard does not change its spots. And I just feel that they are portfolio collectors. They go and they find a cheap asset, knowing full well that they can make a good amount of money. To say that they're saviors, I mean, ask the Bordeaux fans if they're saviors. They didn't save them. They walked away from the deal. But I just think, you know, I'm disappointed with a lot of. I don't really tune in, Frank, to many YouTube channels anymore. There's only a few that I do.
Neither do I.
And the same with podcasts. I get very disorientated when when you hear people dictating to how you should feel, or they basically put this narrative on you. This is what a Liverpool fan is. A Liverpool fan should support these owners. Look what they did. They saved us. All this rubbish.
I laugh at that.
It just does my nut in. And there are still these people still talking about, oh, well, what do you want? Us to be back in the Gillette and Hicks days? There's no fear of us going back to the Gillette and Hicks days. There really isn't. I'm talking about necessary spending. We needed to spend something this summer, and we didn't. We've got a goalkeeper who we won't see till next year. We've got Chiesa, who, I mean, there's huge question marks over that. There really is. So, I mean, I really don't know. I think, with the Champions League, I saw a comment there with the additional games in the Champions League. I think that might prove to be a bit too difficult for us.
Well, Stephen Mulholland's a friend of mine, by the way, and he's one of the who goes on. We go on the extreme narratives, if you know what I mean. We go on the alternative news. What's really going on? Not the lies the West say.
Yeah.
Honestly. Try and get on. Honestly, listen to what I say about the Irish. It's a bit of a history thing, It's like this Padre Corona. He's a big red Padre, by the way. Just go parlay, or just Google me, and you'll find me on Padre. Padre will just pop up somewhere, and I'm talking about the Irish. And I go back to 1566, believe it or not. And a fellow named Sir Humphrey Gilbert, who was the half brother of Sir Walter Raleigh. So I know my stuff. I used to think about it, you see.
Yeah.
Right. So just think, Padre Corona, or just Google him and you'll see me.
Absolutely.
Anyway, he's an Irish lad. I think he's from Cork. I'm not quite too sure. But anyway, Stephen Mulholland. Hi, Frank. I think the new Champions League having more games is just another way of fleecing fans.
Yeah.
Looks like this will lead to a European Super. I said that. Stephen, I've said it.
But Stephen, the other thing is that, like, that Super League, although there was an opportunity of getting back in it again, that's not left, and it's not going to leave. I had this thing here. I mean, FSG are in this thing called the Project Big Picture. This is with the Glaziers. And basically what Project Big Picture is this: they want to scrap the League Cup and the Community Shield and reduce Premier League to 18 teams. They want to create more space in the fixture list. They basically want to start up a Super League. Now, if you have question marks over will they do this, or do they still want to do this, they only did that with the PGA, with that little breakaway golf tournament. So the writing is very much on the wall with these owners. They have no moral compass. They're perfectly happy to give the history of Liverpool Football Club a two fingers and say, well, we'll benefit one way or another.
Did you give it the two fingers? Or, the Americans give it the one, don't they?
Yeah.
So, they're not. I mentioned once there was a leaked, I'm going back a few years ago, there was a leaked email, and it said John Henry, and it said, I've got to go over to that shithole Liverpool. So I was on someone's pod, and they were going on about FSG and whatever, the good for Liverpool. And I came out, I said that. I put in a comment, I said, the good for Liverpool. I said, he thinks that we're, shit all over the place. And this particular fella, whose pod it was, went like that. I want proof. I said, well, fuck you and your proof.
That's from the court
And
documents.
he's not from Liverpool, by the way. He's not from Liverpool.
That's from the court documents, Frank. That was the stuff that we had leaked out. Well, not leaked out. It was in the public domain. Someone had messaged us about it when I was doing Fenway We Come Up to Pay, and then we did a big write up about it. We had a few people from the group that did a bit of research and basically had done snippets. And when we had our website, we actually had snippets of where they were saying this: we're stealing this club. You know, so all of that was in it. All of that is in those documents.
Of course. These are Wall Street people, by the way. The Wall Street people. And as Steve says there, you know, fleecing the fans. Of course, it's another way of fleecing the fans. Of course. Well, you've just seen that nearly £2,000 for a fucking ticket, for God's sake. £2,000 to watch Real Madrid. And this is why that European Super League isn't dead. Because if they are still our owners, they will see ding, 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 ding all the time.
Yeah.
Ding, all the time. That's what they'll see.
They'll get it one way or another out of us.
Discipline, that Frank says.
I think he's talking about you praying.
Oh, no. Prayers, yeah, of course. Of course. You know, as I said, no matter what religion well, you can't bring religion into it, to be honest. But you cannot praise in Ireland, as you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Uncertain dates.
Absolutely.
No, but that's the way it goes, unfortunately. James says, see with your own eyes, not what you're told via fake news. Bang on. Get in there. Get in there, James. Darryl, the owners are happy with top four. That's where their only ambitions, more revenue to fill their pockets. Absolutely.
Do you remember a time when managers used to get sacked because they weren't title contenders? Do you remember that? And now top four is like a minimum requirement. I mean, we should be there should be no issue with us wanting to compete for every bit of silverware this season and any other season. We're Liverpool Football Club. Our whole purpose is to win trophies, but we need the backing.
Yep.
We need the backing.
That's what it is. It's investment on the pitch. It's Look, I was told something by a good source of mine. And when we were sat, you know, Shumaney wanted to come to Liverpool, by the way.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, see, what the owners do, and what especially these people in the media, you know, the likes of Ornstein, and come out, the heads were spun by Real Madrid. They're fucking doing the spinning, by the way. They're doing the spinning. And I was told, in fact, he was talking to him. He was talking to Bellingham's dad.
Oh. And
he came with his family. And he stays in one of our big hotels here. And he said, look, your son will be staying here. And they brought him up to a penthouse. He said, until he finds his own place. And we'll look at, you know, we'll be looking at, you know, accommodation for him. You know, putting them forward, you know, do you like this place? Do you like this place? Whatever. And they were made up. And they said, you know, Jude can't wait to play. Jude can't wait to play for Liverpool Football Club. It's boiled club, they said. Boiled club. Well, we all know what happened, and his head was spun by Real Madrid. His head was turned by Real Madrid.
This
That
this
was
this
the bollocks.
this was the player that we were saving up for 2 years for. The player that was definitely going to come to Liverpool. The
That's why
player
we
that
never brought you in. Yeah, a load
the,
of
the,
bollocks.
the player that flew over with his dad, only for us to say, "Nah."
I,
That's
I was I was watching this thing called I don't watch it now. I think it's ridiculous. A lad, I forget his name, and Anfield's Agenda, I think it's called. An Irish lad, and he was going on about Bellingham, and I said, "We're not going to sign him," and he said, "What do you know?" To me, you know, putting comments in, putting
yeah.
comments. What do you know? He said, and anyway, so I kept saying every week, "We're not getting him," and I've saying it for 18 months. We're not getting. That's all he used to say. We're not getting him. So anyway, we never got him, and I
I
went
know.
to the last time I went on. I said, "I told you we weren't getting him. If you remember my name." And you
Craig
telling me what you fucking know. I know more than you, fella.
Craig, I actually I know his cousins actually, or I used to work with them. I know I actually was interviewed by Craig when he was doing a channel called Anfield Wolves, and he was actually he was pro FSG.
Yeah.
He was pro FSG, and now he's changed his tune completely, and that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. But I don't think Craig. I don't like I said to you, Frank. I don't watch really many YouTube channels, to be honest with you. I kind of gave that up, and YouTube kind of had a very bad taste in my mouth after
But
doing
he's
it.
very naughty to, like the people who, they just try to put in a question
Yeah,
and question him, and he tells them to fuck off.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah,
That's
no,
wrong.
absolutely, absolutely. I remember putting in a comment saying something about clickbait media, and he thought that I was saying that he was clickbait, and he
Yeah.
actually banned me for, I think, I don't know, 60 seconds or something like that. But I came on and I says, Craig, I actually wasn't saying you're clickbait. I'm saying the media are clickbait. And he kind of retracted his comments and whatever. But as I said, I don't really entertain many YouTube channels because it's a bit of a mess in YouTube world, to be honest with you, especially anything covering Liverpool. You're either kind of pro FSG or you're turned into an internet meme, which that's the last thing that I want to be. And it's toxic. It's toxic, absolutely toxic on social media. The fact that you could be called a nonce, for having a difference of opinion is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
That's just because, I said uh, FSG would never have gone into administration. If you don't believe me, ask the Royal Bank of Scotland.
Yeah.
And they didn't build a new stand. I said, we did. Our money did. Do you think for 1 minute that FSG, well, yeah, it is whatever it cost, a few million. Do you think they did that? And how it came about was, I said, and it's still not finished. The Anfield Road. And it
Yeah.
was the due diligence. Why didn't they get a reputable firm in? They got a firm, and at the time I said, why are they bringing Buckingham in? They must be the cheapest because they're having problems down at Craven Cottage, Fulham.
Mm.
They'll go into administration. And
Yeah.
lo and behold, they went into administration and the stand still isn't even finished.
But should the
Because,
guys who did main stands, their administration, they're gone.
yeah, I know, yeah, I do
Pavilion.
know. They just about finished. Well, they never even finished our hospital. They had to
Yeah.
bring other people in to finish us off. But what FSG have done, they brought you want to see some of the brickwork? It's fucking shocking. It's like as one comment came up, because I follow these drones,
Yeah,
these drones lads to see how
yeah,
to get
yeah.
it.
Me too.
And the brickwork, where they were filling in, there was nowhere. Oh, shocking. And this fella went like that. He says, whoever put, he was a brickie, by the way. He said, I'm a bricklayer. He says, and whoever put them in is not a bricklayer. That's how bad it is. That's how
Well,
bad it is. And, so it's still not finished, and it's still not finished today. The
yeah,
new stand, the Annie Road stand. And that is shocking, that's sure. That's
yeah. No,
shocking.
absolutely, absolutely.
So
I got to see the brickwork very closely. I was actually after the Liverpool Legends game. I went to do the abseil down the main stand.
oh, did you do it? Yeah.
I did a Bruce Grobbler. My legs started to wobble, and I had to chicken out. I was watching a friend of mine, and he was going to come on after me, and he's there standing, and he's dry wrenching, about to get sick, and I'm like, legs wobbling like this, so I couldn't do it. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
The legs wobbles, eh?
Uh,
The loose grabbler.
doing the
I
Bruce.
wasn't saving a penalty, it was doing an upset. And AKM says, great show, lads. I'm off. Really enjoyed the watch that I have subbed. Isn't that nice? He's subbed to the thank you.
Yeah, that's Al. Top
You can
chap.
tell him because he's already gone, unfortunately. And KP, people believe what the mainstream press put out and never question it. According to them, there isn't two sides to every story. Spot on there, fella.
I agree with that,
KP,
Kate. I agree with that, but I mean, how often have these journalists or mainstream? How often have they got it right? I mean, Ornstein. I'm not. It seems like I'm picking on poor David Ornstein, but I mean, he reported that the club were for sale.
yeah,
He didn't go back and retract that.
no, no.
So
Do you know what? Do you know what? Do you ever remember? I forget what November it was.
yeah,
And FSG said we're selling the club.
yeah.
Do you know what I said when they came out and said that statement? You know what it is? What I said? I said, "There's no way they're selling the club." And I said, "I'll tell you for why. Because we've got the January window coming in because we bought nobody in the summer, and we need players." I said, "There's no way that they're going to sell the club because what will happen by the time January comes and then we go into February, they'll go like that. Oh, we're not selling the club now." That's
Yeah,
what I
but
said.
Frank, do you remember? Like, if you remember, this was before a Champions League game,
Yeah,
and and for that news to come out before a Champions League game was very unnerving and unsettling. There was no need for it, and of course, Spirit Shankly came out and says we're not aware of this, and they haven't confided in us and whatever, as if they were going to, but there was like from November to March where we didn't hear a thing, and then John W. Henry reported to a Boston Red Sox or somewhere in Boston, a reporter in Boston, that the club isn't for sale. He didn't. He didn't have the common courtesy or manners to, tell
hello.
Liverpool fans, tell us. He told indirectly. Tom Warner wanted to sell the club apparently,
Yeah,
but then it was made out that we couldn't get any buyers, and
loads of bollocks.
of course it's a load of bollocks and that led to, of course, Man United fans saying or taking the piss out of us, when they thought that they were going to be bought by Qatar or whatever. But it just stank to high heaven, absolutely. And Ornstein never came out or said anything about it afterwards.
No, no. I knew it. I knew they were going. Look, if I had a machine in here, a slot machine, and I put like £1 in every day, and I got 300 quid out every day, Am I going to get rid of that machine? No chance. No chance. That's what these are today.
Yeah.
And, they're just putting money in this big machine of ours. And they draw the money out. And as that fella said, they don't take money out the club. Has that fucking leg got a brain? The owner club.
But if you look at the consortium that bought the minor share, Dynasty, what was it called? Oh my God, it's called Dynasty something or other. Bought a consortium, bought a share in Liverpool, and part of the board is one of the board members in FSG. So they're all intertwined and interlinked and what have you. It's all a PR stunt, to be honest.
Everything's PR.
Yeah.
And they've got the best spinners with the likes of Ornstein and the rest of them. They spin everything for the owners. They spin the lot.
Well, it's a dead giveaway when what's his name, Ornstein, David Ornstein, goes on to a podcast with a Boston Red Sox hat. Like, it can't be any more obvious than that, really.
No, of course you can't. And, when he came out and said that we were after the Zubamendi, what was the spin on that? I'll tell you what the spin was. The lad didn't want to come. I think the lad said it. I said, "Oh, fuck off, I'm going to you lot." I'll tell you for why. They wanted their owner, or whoever he is, the senior, whatever his name is. He wanted the full price of him. We don't want to negotiate, because Hughes was negotiating installments. He said, "No, we don't want fucking installments. We want the money. If you want them, give us the money." No, this is how fucking good Hughes is. You know what I mean? We was wanting the player. We were wanting the number 6, and he's a very good player, by the way. He's fucking excellent. And we never got him because we wanted to negotiate installments rather than paying for full access. What the owner of that club, Real Sociedad, wanted. So you don't. I don't know. And they at Zubamendi must have went, "Oh, fuck off, I'm not going."
It smells of Casado all over again. Going for a player.
If you was to come on the show, I'm glad you made it up there, and I hope you be a forever guest.
Yeah.
If you'd have come on then, if I would have known you, Sean, what it was, I was saying then about Casado. As I said to you, I'll guarantee you now, there's no way we're going to buy him. No. Because that Tom Bowley and John Henry are mates. Did you know that?
No.
So, he's gone like that. Listen to a piece, these fans, we want to say, because fans do say, and they've been saying it for years, look who we were after, or we were after them, but
exactly. Yeah.
And they fucking believe all that.
Yeah.
That's how.
Why go for a player that's already made up his mind that he's going to Chelsea?
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? We couldn't cough up the money for Latvia, and then what did we do? We then look for a Casado for 120 million in around the same amount of money that Bellingham would have cost, and yet we go for Casado, and Casado's already made up his mind he's going to Chelsea.
It was a load of spin, honestly. Look who we were after, and this is why one of your mates said the creaming and the keks every time.
Martin, yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like. That's what it's like. Anyway, it's the TV is basically a propaganda and brainwashing tool, says the KP.
Yeah.
Cedric Lopez. Big up, Frank. Hello, Cedric. What a name that is. Love that name.
That's a great name.
Yeah. Cedric Lopez. And it's the nail on the head.
Customers, aren't we? Yeah. Do you remember that thing
Custom.
that was on their website? Turning fans into customers? And
That
there
was
was a
Ian there, that fucking
big,
arsehole.
yeah, there was a big upheaval over it, and then they had to change it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ian there.
Ian Air, Jesus.
Right,
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
And Steve says, Steve, there are three sides to the story. Absolutely, there's more than three sides if you come and add them up. Gerald Merry, thank you, Steve. We lost my wife's sister Tuesday. Also, suddenly getting home again, my boy. We'll get a break soon, but I'm looking after him. He's, Steve said I was a going. And,
Very sorry to hear that.
shocking. It's really shocking what he's going through. And Steve says, Ornstein, Lynch, Joyce, Pierce, Reddy, Redmond, TV, Anfield crap, etc., all on FSG payroll. They all want what is best for FSG, not LFC.
I'm not too sure. I mean, I think they're so. Like I don't want to slate anyone, to be honest with you, because I've done that, been there, worn the T-shirt, and it doesn't pay off. I certainly think they say they all collaborate with each other, and they all have their perks and say basically what the club want them to say. Otherwise, they wouldn't have their perks or exclusives. And I know that the Anfield rap have been really. It's borderline hate, if I'm honest with you, with some of the comments that they have made, especially with regards to fans that have tried to create a protest. You had Cop Connection there, I think like 2 years ago or a year ago, and the first thing that Anfield Rap did was write an article on it, and they went on.
Go on. I'm sorry there. I have to butt in because the Anfield Rap. I was watching a press conference, some press conference. The press, not a press conference with they have a press night, don't they, on LFC TV?
Yeah.
And there was a fella on. I think his name was it Neil, fella with glasses.
Yeah.
And it was when Leicester City were coming to Anfield, and this fella, he went like that. Brendan will get a big standing ovation when he comes. And I looked at, and I fucking come. I don't know whether I tweeted because you can't comment, you see. I tweeted and I said, Brendan getting a fucking standing ovation. Will he be getting a fucking standing ovation by the lad's girl, the lad whose wife ran away with him?
Exactly.
And his baby couldn't see them. The lad, 21 years of age, committed suicide.
Jeez.
Will they be giving him a fucking standing ovation?
Christ, I didn't know that.
Didn't you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the lad fucking committed suicide through that fucking prick. I fucking hated that. Brendan Rodgers. He got me the sack off LFC TV.
Jesus, I didn't know any of that.
When he first came, Claire Rourke was it was me and Jimmy Case sitting there. We was doing a live broadcast, and anyway, she's he was talking all about that. Anyway, all of a sudden, Rodgers' name came up, and she said to Jimmy, how do you think Brendan will do this summer? The new season, and Jimmy just came out and said, "Oh, he'll do well." And she said to me, "How do you think he'll do?" She said to me, Claire said, I said, "We're Liverpool Football Club." I said, "We've won 5 European championships, 5 European cups from Shankly right up today, right up to that bit when we won the 5th. I said, and you are saying to me about this fella, I said, we brought in Hudson, who's had loads of Premiership experience, he's had international experience, and we done nothing with him.
Mm.
What we needed was a fully experienced manager. He got through into the Premiership through the back door, not even using his team by playoffs. Got through and had below average performance in the Premiership. I said, and we've got him as our manager. And you're asking me how he's going to do. It'll be a miracle if we win something with him. Now, every time you're always getting brought on. The last time was with that Mark Benstead, a few years later.
Mm.
And again, it was Jimmy Case and some chef named Simon Rimmer and me. And he went to Jimmy, are we going to win the league? Right. This is before the Chelsea game.
Oh, God.
And Jimmy went, oh, that's Benstead. I call him Benstead. He said, are we going to win it? One word, yes or no. That's all. We're finishing the programme. And Jimmy went, yeah. Simon Rimmer, they said, great fella. It's Jimmy's great fella, And so was Simon, by the way, Simon Rimmer.
Mm.
And said to, Simon just said, yeah. He said to me, do you know what I said? No.
No.
Because I said, and he went, well, why did you say that, afterwards? I said, because he's going to fuck us up.
Mm.
And he did against Chelsea. And he did against Crystal Palace.
Mm.
And it was never even like that. I don't want that fella on the game.
And that's what happened.
Never went on it. Because it was always criticised. I wasn't ever always criticising him, but, that's the way it was.
But it just goes to, that's a perfect example of towing the corporate line. If you don't toe the corporate line, you're gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I used to. I always remember one of the, honestly, because I was just saying it as it should be said.
Yeah.
And I always remember this Craig lad. He came up to me, one of the producers, and went like that. The fans love you. Because, you're saying as it should be said. Because what you're told, don't say nothing about the owners. Don't say nothing about the manager.
And it's funny because you only have to go on to, I think NBC or SBN, where you see Steve Nicol. And Steve Nicol is nowhere to be found on the likes of LFC TV or any of them because he's critical of these owners.
Yeah.
There is not a chance of him being anywhere near the club at all because he speaks out.
That is a thing. I'm sorry, Norman, I'll have to go to this one. And its song says, I heard a podcast claim that the club didn't want Ornstein's Zuber-Mendy story to come out, as if Ornstein has any other contacts. That's mad. Yeah. But anyway, Norman says, evening all, funny that FSG put the club up for sale in the November. This is what I just mentioned before. Just before the January window, then said, not for sale after the window closed. Funny that.
Yeah. And he didn't even say it directly to us. It was through Boston.
No. Anyway, what did he come up with these? Costa. That fella, spells with the K. Mbappe, Bellingham, Shumani, Labia, Casino, Texera, Zubi, just some of the players we are still monitoring.
And like Ornstein wrote. You see, I'm attacking Ornstein here. Ornstein wrote about Mbappe. He mentioned Mbappe there, as if there's a possibility that we may get Mbappe at some stage. Like something about a 777 million boost to Liverpool transfers. You know, and I said on Friday, we'd done a stream on the deadline day on AKM LFC, and I said within 74 to 4 or 78 hours or thereabouts, guarantee you will see some positive PR, and lo and behold, that's what we got. Okay, TW.
Isn't that brilliant? Isn't that brilliant? So, yeah, look, just look at that. FSG signing those players next summer. Like every summer. Laura says, hey Steve, if FSG could, they would scrap the transfer window.
Should they? Well, I mean, they've scrapped bloody January transfer window. They do nothing.
And Rodgers is just another fraud worker in football. I dislike the guy. I dislike. Some radio station got hold of me and said, would you like to be a contributor? I said, yes, sure. And they said to me, this is when they were just saying to me, you know, would you like to be a contributor? Some radio station that shall not be named. And I went, yeah. He said, well, we're going to talk about past managers and, you know, what their achievements were. And Rodgers got me. I said, hey, that fraud. Never been asked back. So we're being okay, yeah. That fraud. Never got asked back. That's fucking worrying. If FSG could, they would only have 5 players on the pitch to start games. That is 5 versus 5, and only have 10-man squads all season. FSG, I'll call them out. Look, I think we'll have to stop this. Steve Nicol, Jan Molby, Jose Enrique all talk against FSG and all. 3 are not on FSG payroll, says Steve.
Not only that, though. Sorry, Frank. Not only that, though. I was at a Liverpool Legends gig in Dublin. I don't want to be speaking out of turn or speaking for anyone, but John Aldridge and Ray Houghton spoke out about FSG. So, you know, these are 2 top Liverpool legends, and obviously Republic of Ireland legends as well. But they spoke out against them.
Do you ever remember the World Cup? I think it was over in the States. And
yeah.
Aldridge trying to get on the pitch.
I actually have that jersey. I still have that jersey.
And
yeah, I still have that jersey. I love that jersey.
Was so funny.
I'll give you a little story about John Aldridge and myself. John Aldridge, he did a kind of a, what is it? Britain's Got Talent kind of show, but it was in Ireland. It was kind of a celebrity kind of, I don't know, song contest thing. And his song of choice was called Lily the Pink. He sang that the whole entire song contest. So I went over to Liverpool for my sister's graduation. She was graduating from John Moore University. Probably shouldn't be saying that, but whatever.
John Moore's good university.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And she's done very well for herself, thank God. But so I'm sitting in this, I can't think of the cathedral, but it's massive. I'm sitting there, and then I noticed someone coming in to the pew or the bench in front of me, and it was John Aldridge. His daughter was graduating the same day. Now, unfortunately, my mother was aware of the song that Aldo sang, and she sang that the entire graduation. And I was mortified, absolutely mortified. I would have said hello to him, shook his hand or whatever. A few years later, I met him at a Liverpool Legends gig. And I said to him, I owe you an apology And he says, "What for?" I said, "My mother sang to you during your daughter's graduation." He said, "I fucking remembered that." Oh, it was brilliant. He's really a sound guy, really sounds.
I was on an LFC TV with him, and
Yeah.
anyway, before we went in to do the live broadcast, we went over, to big window, and he went, "Hey Frank," he said, "you know all about buildings, I believe." I said, "Yeah." He said, "See that? What's that about?" So I told him, and he said, "Well, what's that building there?" Then, every building he was pointing out, he was trying to get me, and by the time, and he went like that, we were called, and he said, "All right, well, what's that one? What was that?" And I told him, and I even told him who the architects were. He turned around and went,
Yeah.
"So you fucking definitely built," he said, "fucking built my house."
But he's really, he's very, very easy to talk to. Like, as I said, I've met him twice, but it was just kind of in passing. I'm actually looking at a canvas about this size with, Ray Houghton and himself there. But no, I mean, they're just massive players, massive for both
As,
Ireland and Liverpool.
as Norman says, Aldridge is brilliant. That bloke in the blue cap, he was screaming at, "You prick!" He shouted.
And John Aldridge, I think, got fined for that. And apparently in Ireland, there was not a GoFundMe. Well, at the time, there was kind of a GoFundMe, and we all paid for it.
Oh,
But,
go away.
well,
Go away.
yeah, that happened. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely? Brilliant. Cigars and strippers are all all John Henry cares about, not us. LFC transfer is invested in Henry's wife's chest, says Steve.
She look. Linda's beautiful, beautiful looking. She's the same age as me, Frank. I didn't realize that.
Lovely. She's
Yeah,
lovely.
she is.
She is. I think she's Italian, Well, Italian.
Descent, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Myself. Great show, lads. Nice all, says KP. Thank
Like
you.
KP.
FSG made a profit this summer in transfers, says Steve. Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've, like I said to you, the transfer window or the net spend under FSG is 17.057 million. I mean, come on.
Well, that's why, the transfer window, we're not going to get anyone in the transfer
No.
window from January, and the three new signings will be Mo, Verge, and Trent. Mark my words. That's what it'll come out like. That's how they'll spin it. He came on and scored, Aldo did. Typical of the man.
And he
Underrated.
was furious. He didn't even celebrate. And that goal actually got us into the next round of the World Cup.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, it was so important.
Do you know that a lot of Liverpool supporters, like myself as well, I support the Azori, by the way,
Yeah.
but support the Republic. Did you know that?
No, didn't know that.
Did you know that?
No.
Oh, loads of us Liverpool supporters support the, especially World Cups.
Oh, I
and
know. I know a lot of Liverpool supporters support Ireland. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The Republic. Aldo calls him a C as well, 60 hours.
He went ballistic. It was great.
I'm going to watch that clip again in a bit, Aldo.
I think I'm
Richard,
going to do
John,
that
I'll
too,
have
man.
to finish, mate. I'll have to finish. Been on for 2.5 hours.
Have we? Jesus, it's been good chatting to you, Frank. Been a good
Have you
show.
enjoyed it?
Yeah, really. I really enjoyed it. It was a great show now, I must say. It was good chatting to everybody.
We'll talk about football next.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's talk about football.
That's a very good point there by Steve. Very good point.
Birmingham City, League One club, spent 14 million on the squad this summer. They outspent FSG. Arne, look, Norman says, what's your channel, Sean?
So my channel, I'm part of AKM LFC. I do a sorry, there we go. I do a stream on Monday called AKM Live, but it's AKM LFC is the channel. Adam Naylor is the guy that's the middle. But yeah, we're have some massive plans for the YouTube channel. He's really good. He's very knowledgeable, and yeah, check
So
it out.
we all speak with the same forked tongue, yes?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we speak the truth.
Absolutely.
You know, I just, yeah, do you know if there, like, there's some people who's being on it. Now, do you think we've spoken negatively, by the way?
I don't think we spoke negatively at all. I just think we've just spoken facts.
Well, that's what, because
Yeah.
some people have come, this is negative, this, I'm going. Not so nice,
Yeah.
in the past.
And
Because
that's
of,
okay. I mean, like I'm sure on your channel as well as AKM LFC, we welcome everyone with every sort of opinion, as long as you can form that opinion or you can have a civil conversation. That's fine. We welcome all conversation and all debate. So that's I've no problem doing that and no problem. But I
well,
mean,
that's
I'm not.
what I mean. It's so easy, though, Sean, to come on, little comments. Like Steve there, Sean, aka we come not to pay Fenway. Right. Now, he could have easily have said, this is all negative.
Yeah.
I'm going. Now, I could have said, well, you come back and tell me what's negative about it, because we're not negative. We
No.
want the owners of this football club to invest on the pitch, to
Yeah.
win more trophies.
That's it. And I mean, that used to be the bare minimum requirement of Liverpool Football Club. I mean, we know Bill Shankly used to say we're here to win trophies. So what has changed? Do you know?
Yeah,
Even
it has.
even the dog in the background is giving out.
Yeah, look, see, no, he was watching it that night. Sean, Frank was called something disgusting a while back for stating the truth about FSG. I was disgusted. And that was when I was, I was called a nonce. But I never seen it. Anyway, Norman got hold of me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what did he say? What was it? And he said, he called you a nonce because of, and that's just like speaking out the truth. These people who are on the bandwagon, of like FSG are great and look what they've done for us and they don't take any money off the club and all this. And, they saved us.
Yeah.
That's all I mentioned about. No, they
But
didn't. But anyway, it's all wrong. It's shocking.
it's like
It's
this,
shocking.
Frank. Yourself and myself are off an age that, like, when there was no internet and we used to go down to the pub or we used to watch a match, either go to the match itself or go into a pub and have a chat and talk about football and what have you. Now social media unfortunately give a platform for these keyboard warriors. The amount of abuse that I received and even my family got is just is horrible. I mean, I had pictures of my parents' house up online, flames drawn out of the window. I had pictures of my a deceased member of my family. I had, people sending me death threats. I mean, I didn't handle it very well, but typical narcissistic behavior kind of will hone in on your reaction and not hone in on the behavior that got you there. Unfortunately, that kind of was what was happening with me. I had to leave the whole thing. I got rid of it. Someone asked me there, I think it was Steve asked me, would I not set up a protest? I'll go to a protest, not bother. but I would not set up one.
Yeah.
I spent 7 years trying to do something.
It's not only that, but now in this country, any protest, you could be locked up, no
Yeah,
matter what the protest are for, and go to jail. This is the law. You
yeah,
go to jail. So they're clamping down on freedom of speech, protesting, you name it. That's what the and there's your listen, chap. There's the AKM LFC. So easy to remember that. AKM LFC. Just
that.
can you Google that and it'll just come on there.
Yeah. Now he has a Facebook page called Adam Naylor LFC. We're hoping to change it. He's on Twitter or X, LFC AKM, and we're going to hopefully start doing some kind of prizes and quizzes and whatnot, and do a few things, do a few collaborations and whatnot.
You're not having that. That's a prize.
Nothing like that now, Frank. Not like that. I mean, you put me to shame now with that. So
I'm only messing you know. You might win it if you put this comment for
You
it.
never know. You never know. I'll put myself down for it to see what happens.
Yeah, Arne says criticism of the club automatically disqualifies you as a fan. So the so-called top
Reds. Yeah, absolutely.
Our Uncle Rods. Big up Frankie and chat.
All right, Rods.
We're all going now, boys. We're all going. So Steve even throws us up. AKM, that's thanks there for that stay. Thank you, mate. Oil Frank. All Frank says was, I thought that was oil. All Frank says was that they did not save us, and he was called that disgusting thing to call someone. Yes, that's it, unfortunately. Right, I'll have to, I'll just say these two, then we'll go. Steve says, Sean Zock, I saw all that abuse you got from FSG in fan base, and I told you got from the FSG, and I told them idiots to make those threats to me and see what happens.
Appreciate that, Steve. Appreciate that.
FSGO peaceful protest is being organised, Frank. Sean, solicitors will be informing the local police when the protest is starting. Says Steve, you'll never walk alone. And Steve says, Sean's off. We followed each other back in the day. I was a nomad on Twitter. Yeah,
I remember you.
Yes, gents, no point of protest. We've done so much in the past about these owners. What's changed? Nothing. And unfortunately, I got hacked on Facebook. So for years, got hacked. And whatever the hacker was demanding of people, they banned me. They must have thought it was me for deceit and fraud. I can't get back on. And I was hacked. You can't get hold of it. You can't get hold of Facebook. Hold the bollocks. For years I was on, I've lost loads of contacts, lost good people. And that's it. Nice all. Go and watch Aldo in '94 again. It will get us all in. And Sean, me and Jake followed each other, and we are still FSG out.
Keep the fight alive.
The Fozu's here, and I haven't seen him. But anyway, Fozzie's great,
Hi, Fozzie.
Oh, do you know him? He's a lovely fella.
Yeah, he was on the other week.
The other night.
I followed his channel there and I was watching some of his stuff there, some of the streams. So they're all very sound.
There he is. I didn't know I used my LRFC account. He's a smashing.
I appreciate your comment, Steve. I I'm aging like a bad curry.
Well, when you come and see me, I'll give you
So I'm going over in October. So I'm going over on the Friday night, and then I'm coming back on the Sunday. So
well, come and see me on the bloody Saturday, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, Saturday. Wait a minute. Saturday, I'm going to London with Martin.
Oh, right, okay. Well, come call on the Friday night. I can't blimey, Sean. You're wasting a couple of others on here.
We'll go to the Flatiron.
One fella, honestly, one fella. I'm not naming him.
Yeah.
Has come all the way from Berlin.
Berlin.
To see his dad in Coventry. Spends him weeks. I said, come and see me.
Yeah.
And he went, I can't. I said, you can't. He said, no, I'm looking after my dad.
Oh, sure, look.
Then going back to Berlin. I won't mention who it is. And the Fosie says, great stream, lads. Loved every minute. And he's been looking in sly boots. And he hasn't been coming.
Checking it out.
Yeah, checking us out. As I said, I love the fella. Love him. And I love all the chat. Sean, there's nothing more I can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Will you definitely come on again?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm inviting all of you guys to come on our show as well.
Yeah.
And we'll sort something out around your schedule and ours. So, absolutely.
Be great, that. It'll be great. I'm a busy person, you see. As I said, I have a show on it.
Yeah.
I have two football podcasts, right? Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time, 8 o'clock. But sometimes I do a post-match as well.
Right.
So then I do me history, then I do me not social issues, current affairs program.
Yeah.
Involves everything, So, and I do, you might like this actually, on a Saturday morning, I do a film and TV review. Right.
Okay.
We're talking about vampires and Frankenstein and space things and everything, but football always comes into it.
Brilliant. Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
Saturday mornings at 10:30. I'm made up. I'm absolutely made up. Look.
I appreciate that.
Says, the Fosies Wales, yeah. Great stream, lads. Sean's off. FSG out legend.
I don't know about that.
Right, Frank and Sean, says Taro. All right, Taro.
Look after
Taro,
yourself.
thinking of you and the lads, mate. Thank you, the lads. That's his little son. It's horrible, but it's horrible what happens. I'm not going on it now. But listen, thank you. Listen, a link will always be sent out to you. I'd love you to come on Tuesday and meet. As I said, I go out at 8 o'clock and meet George Scott, the author.
I'd love that. Yeah. Absolutely love that.
So if you've got nothing in your pipeline for next Tuesday, I'll send you the link out and come on and meet George. He's brilliant, as well. Very gentle person, but he knows his stuff. I
saw him last week. He's a really, really nice guy. Really nice guy.
And he criticises the purse strings of the owners as well.
Well, I think everyone, there's more and more people starting to kind of see the light, I think. And I mean, while I am FSG out, I would have preferred FSG sorted out. And I don't think that's going to happen. And I think,
never going to happen.
But first and foremost, I'm a Liverpool supporter. I love the club, win, lose or draw. I'll always back the head coach and the players, and that'll never change. So I'd rather be just the Liverpool fanatic rather than the FSG out person or legend or whatever.
But I can't see. Honestly, I can't see them changing the spots. I really can't. The only way that we'll improve on the pitch is if they will sell up.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the only way. And sell them to an owner who go, what you need, Arne or whatever his name is, if he's still there. But I can't see that in the too near future. And Sean, once again, thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate
And
it.
hopefully see you on next Tuesday.
I'll do my very best. I'll have to check the old diary, but it should be
No,
fine.
no worries, no worries. But a link will always be sent out for you anyway.
Yeah, and you're more than welcome to come on to AKM LFC as well. We'll find some day or time for you.
Okay, that'll do me. I won't swear. I won't swear if there's any good Catholics in Ireland.
You can swear all you like.
I was an altar boy once.
So was I. I've kind of simmered down since we found way we come out the paydays.
Do you know what? I was that big, little big, like. And I had to get dressed in the house rather than the priest's house because we were doing a procession.
Yeah.
And so anyway, the old girl dropped, dressed me. And there I am, with my little altar boy suit on. I was only 34 at the time. So little lad, little lad. And I always remember to see neighbours coming in, looking at me and went, he'd make a lovely priest.
Father Frank.
Father Frank. Unbelievable.
A Father Ted character sounds more like.
Look at that, one short of 700 subscribers.
Oh, we got to get that sorted.
What? Well,
yeah, we need to get that sorted.
Yeah,
you should have much more subscribers than you actually do, Frank. I don't know how you just have 700. You should. Well, we'll sort it out. I'll get promoting it on AKM LFC, and we'll try and get as many subscribers to your channel, and obviously to Fozzie's as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. So don't forget, there's always a link there for you. And we'll be talking football, like dribbling and heading and Darwin Núñez and, should he get a game and, the usual stuff. And I just want to thank the chat as well. The chat, without the chat, there'd be no podcast. There won't be any podcast.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you all. And I'll see you all you football fans next Tuesday with Sean, hopefully. And if not, I'll see you all on Saturday morning for the film and TV review and football. Frank, Fozzie, Sean will be the main LFC channels under our new owners.
We'll get Frank back on LFC TV. He'll be the new host, the main host.
Good night, guys. Say songs for 4K. Thank you, songs. Good night to you. And let's go, champs. Right, so I'll have to end it now. Honestly, I'm croaking here. And, I'll see you next Tuesday or Saturday morning. Thank you, Sean.
Absolutely, Frank. Thanks a million for having me. Been a pleasure.
Been a great pleasure for me. Honest to God, it's been a great pleasure. Thank you so much.